In the part of the Genesis story, Joseph finds himself still in prison, wrongly accused of seducing Potiphar's wife. Despite his unjust circumstances, Joseph shows resilience and adaptability. Rather than succumbing to despair, he rises within the prison hierarchy, eventually gaining the trust of the warden and overseeing other prisoners. His abilities become evident when he interprets the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, accurately predicting their futures with divine guidance. Joseph hopes the cupbearer will remember him and help secure his release, but the cupbearer forgets, leaving Joseph in prison for 2 more years. Genesis 40. After these 2 years, Pharaoh himself has troubling dreams, first about fat and lean cows, and then about healthy and blighted grains. Genesis 41 verses 1 to 7. These dreams deeply trouble Pharaoh, prompting him to seek interpretations from his wise men and magicians, who fail to provide answers. It is then that the cupbearer recalls Joseph's gift for dream interpretation. He tells Pharaoh about Joseph, recounting his own experience in prison with him and the accuracy of Joseph's interpretations for himself and the baker. This leads Pharaoh to send for Joseph, setting the stage for Joseph's pivotal role in Egypt's future. Joseph's story in Genesis illustrates his remarkable resilience and faith in God, even through unjust imprisonment and dashed hopes. His ability to interpret dreams accurately, attributed to divine guidance, plays a crucial role in shaping his fate and ultimately the fate of Egypt. His story also highlights themes of patience, forgiveness, and the unseen workings of divine providence in human affairs. Joseph recounts to Pharaoh that there was a young Hebrew in the prison, formerly the captain of the guard's house, who accurately interpreted dreams. This Hebrew, Joseph, correctly interpreted dreams for the chief cupbearer and chief baker, foreseeing the cupbearer's restoration and the baker's execution. The cupbearer, who had promised to speak to Pharaoh about Joseph's innocence, had forgotten until reminded by circumstances. This delay highlights a lesson for believers in patience and trust, as Joseph remained composed despite the cupbearer's oversight. Eventually, Pharaoh summoned Joseph from prison after hearing of his gift for interpreting dreams, exemplifying Joseph's resilience and faith through adversity. When Joseph stood before Pharaoh, he attributed his ability to interpret dreams not to himself but to God's guidance. Pharaoh described his dreams of cows and grain to Joseph, seeking interpretation. Joseph explained that both dreams foretold the same future: 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of severe famine. He emphasized that these revelations were from God, not his own wisdom, reinforcing the lesson of humility and faithfulness. This episode illustrates Joseph's unwavering trust in God's plan, despite the hardships he endured, and serves as a reminder of divine providence in the face of uncertainty. Genesis 41 verses 15 to 32. This narrative from Genesis offers believers insights into patience, resilience, and the importance of faith in God's providence. Joseph's journey, from being betrayed and imprisoned to interpreting dreams for Pharaoh, demonstrates steadfast faith in challenging times. His humility in giving credit to God rather than taking it for himself shows a deep trust in divine guidance. Moreover, the interpretation of Pharaoh's dreams as signs of impending abundance and famine underscores the biblical theme of God's foresight and control over human events. Joseph's story encourages believers to maintain faith and trust in God's plan, even when faced with adversity and uncertainty, knowing that his wisdom surpasses human understanding. In Genesis 41, Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams as foretelling 7 years of plentiful harvest followed by 7 years of severe famine. He emphasizes that God has firmly decided this course of events, urging Pharaoh to prepare wisely. Joseph advises storing 1/5 of Egypt's harvest during the years of abundance to sustain the nation through the upcoming crisis. His recommendation reflects foresight and prudence, ensuring Egypt's survival despite the impending hardship. Pharaoh is impressed by Joseph's insight, recognizing the divine wisdom in him, and appoints Joseph to oversee the entire land, second only to himself in authority. Joseph's humility stands out as he doesn't seek personal gain from his role as God's messenger. Instead, he selflessly offers a practical solution and guides Pharaoh on selecting capable administrators. This demonstrates Joseph's integrity and dedication to God's will, prioritizing the welfare of Egypt over personal ambition. Pharaoh's decision to elevate Joseph underscores the uniqueness of his wisdom and divine connection, acknowledging him as indispensable in navigating Egypt through the coming crisis. Joseph's story in Genesis 41 not only highlights his prophetic gift and administrative acumen, but also reveals his steadfast faith and humility in serving God's purpose. His foresight and preparedness not only save Egypt from ruin, but also position him to fulfill a pivotal role in its governance, showcasing how divine wisdom can guide nations through adversity. Joseph's journey in Egypt was marked by both immense responsibility and opportunity. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, he had endured years of hardship, alternating between challenging situations. However, when Pharaoh appointed him to oversee the management of Egypt during a severe famine, Joseph's fortunes dramatically changed. This promotion not only secured his freedom, but also elevated him to a position of great authority and respect among the Egyptians. Pharaoh's trust in Joseph, symbolized by placing his signet ring on Joseph's finger and dressing him in fine robes, showcased the extent of Joseph's newfound power and responsibility. According to the Bible, Genesis 41 verses 41 to 44, Pharaoh explicitly stated that Joseph was now in charge of the entire land of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. This elevated Joseph to a position where he could effectively manage the nation through the famine, utilizing all the resources of Egypt at his disposal. Despite his previous trials, Joseph's patience, perseverance, and unwavering faith in God had prepared him for this crucial role. Instead of using Joseph merely for advice and discarding him afterward, Pharaoh demonstrated gratitude by granting him authority that rivaled his own. This transformation from prisoner to ruler was a testament to Joseph's resilience and God's faithfulness. Moreover, Pharaoh renamed Joseph Zaphanath-Paneah, meaning revealer of secrets or savior of the world, in some translations, symbolizing his role as an interpreter of dreams and savior of Egypt. This act not only reflected Joseph's new status, but also signified Pharaoh's acknowledgement of Joseph's pivotal role in the nation's survival. By adorning Joseph with fine clothing, jewelry, and a prestigious marriage, Pharaoh effectively redefined Joseph's identity, highlighting his transformation from adversity to honor and authority. This narrative illustrates the biblical theme of divine providence and the rewards of steadfast faith, where Joseph's journey from slavery to leadership exemplifies God's plan unfolding through human perseverance and obedience.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.